doing a good job there. That needle's perfectly centered, I like it. And what's our crosswind right now?
9 knots.
Good, and what's our headwind?
19.
Yeah, and you'll see that's why our ground speed is so low.
Right.
Compared there. Which that'll be more important when we do approaches like an ILS. Okay, 0 Papa Lima, I'd like you to make your track 180.
All right, 180.
So how would you do that? So pick a heading that gives you a track of 180.
It's 1 degree off.
Yeah, after a while you get really good at it. And you can integrate that into your scan as far as altitude and all that as well. So you're quickly doing one thing after another. But you,
600 Papa, turn right heading 060.
And 0 Papa Lima, make your track 185.
All right, 185.
Approach 0 Papa Lima, requesting if possible block 3 to 4 in the hold at Carroll, entering the hold at this time.
0 Papa Lima, roger, maintain block altitude 3,000, 4,000.
Block 3 to 4,000, 0 Papa Lima, thank you. All right, good, so I'd like you to turn to a track of 195.
All right, 195.
And then if you want to challenge, if you're ready for a challenge, I want you to climb to 3,800.
All right, climbing
at the same time. So you're kind of integrating the two, which I know you can do because you've done each one very well individually. And just take your time, and you can do a cruise climb if you like, with full power and 5 degrees.
Okay.
And then you're kind of monitoring the track for about 200 track.
Okay.
And don't worry about the purple line, I'm giving you the manual track. So just maintain a track of 200, and then stop your climb at that altitude.
All right.
It's easy to forget the top altitude when you're trying to do a track. You're trying to integrate everything together. Okay.
Just wanted to go into the clouds.
Yeah. Okay, take your foggles off.
I don't have foggles on.
Okay, good. So turn right to a track of 205, please.
All right, 205.
And just a reminder, we're tapping out at 3,000.
600 Papa, you're 4 up and send, turn right, heading 140, maintain 2,000, don't seven on Lopez are cleared.
Good, you're doing very well.
So,
as best you can with the way it is, 205. And 300 feet to go.
Yep.
And we turn right to a track of 220.
All right, right 220. Wow.
And then level off.
Updraft.
You can level off 3,800, and then slow me down to 90 because we are getting some bumps.
Yep.
So maybe 2,200 RPM.
Wow. Ooh.
And try to keep that pitch near 0 because otherwise we're going to sink like a rock there.
Yep.
There you go. Good. Okay. Good. And slowly pull the power back. You don't have to do that quite that thick. 2150, please.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 2150 because we know that'll work for 90 knots. So you put in a predictable power and you should get predictable performance. And we want this to be 220 on the track. That kind of a gentle turn. Yeah, it doesn't need to be too much. There you go. Okay, stop your turn.
All right.
Good.
Oh, sorry, 220.
Yeah, 220, good.
To the left crosswind. Still climbing.
Yeah.
Correcting.
Okay.
Wow.
Then I'd like you to turn to the right to a track of 040.
All right, 040.
And then descend to 3,000.
Okay. Holy smokes.
Just take your time. So pull the power back maybe to 1,800 for descent.
Yeah.
And then you're doing a right turn. And let's see what happens with the compass.
And
so
right turn
we're turning to a north heading. 040. Remember, the pitch needs to be about -2. You want to do a real good scan so you don't change your pitch by too much.
Right.
And then let's use the compass. So where are you going to roll out on your compass for 040? If it's lagging in the north, right? We're going to actually roll out on 360. So let's turn to 360 on the compass.
Okay.
Yeah, remember now we're using the compass only.
Okay.
So what is the compass telling? Kind of read out to me what the compass is saying.
I'm just hard time controlling the pitch, ups and downs here. 040. I'm turning to 040.
Yeah. 600 Papa.
Right, but what is the compass saying now? Is what I'm saying.
So I'm reading 330.
Yeah. And when are you going to stop? In order to get a heading of 040, you're going to stop early, right, for the undershoot.
Right.
And the answer is 360 on the compass. Okay, stop your turn.
Okay.
And then assess where you are and make sure to level off at 3,000 now. Don't go too low.
Yep.
Okay, and we'll see how that works out. And then we can make a... See, that came out pretty close, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay, so put the power in, please, because I don't want to bust the 3,000.
Right.
So 2150, and then level off at 3,000. There you go. And the heading buzz. So let's make our track 050, please.
All right, 050 track.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, to give you a break, why don't you set that up with the autopilot? So give me autopilot heading mode. That way you're not too tired out. Heading mode, please. And then approach altitude hold. Altitude, no, that's not how you do altitude hold. Let me review something with you, it's really important. Altitude hold is by pressing the altitude hold button.
Right.
That's what you,
I'm not set at 3,000
yeah, but I said
yet.
hold what you have though. Hold your current altitude.
Oh, so if I hit...
Oh, when I say hold current altitude, you press this button.
Ah, okay.
Okay, that holds the altitude.
Oh, roger,
yeah,
okay.
That's important. Good. All right, so let's turn right to a heading of 050.
All right, right heading 050.
And I want you to tell me what happens with the compass when we do that.
Right? Oh, 050.
Yeah, a track of 050, and tell me what's happening with the compass. So initially it's going the other way, see?
Right.
It's going to 350.
Right.
That's because of the lagging effect.
Right.
So part of this lesson was kind of anticipating what's going to happen with the compass. So we want a track of 050. So how would we do that?
Well, right now I have it set to 046.
Okay, but that's irrelevant. What happens, you want this track to be 050, right?
Right.
So you want 8 degrees more than your current heading. What's your current heading?
045.
Yeah, okay, so then you add 5 to that. There you go.
Sorry, I was watching my crosswind component.
Okay.
But it just went to 0. I had 6 knots previously.
Good. All right, so let's turn right to a track of 240.
Right, 240.
And then I'd like you to tell me what happens with the compass while you do that.
Okay.
So I'll take care of this part.
Right.
Just tell me what's happening with the compass.
Yeah, initially indicated a turn to the north.
Right. Uh-huh.
Now it's going back to south.
Yeah. And so once it goes south, should it be leading or lagging?
It should be leading.
Yeah, right. So what's going to happen, it's going to start accelerating. And I want you to narrate that to me. Okay, so go ahead and call out the numbers. So what is the compass doing now?
So it's well, nothing. Now it's
no, but just read the number though is what I'm saying.
Yeah, 150.
Okay, and you see how that's different?
Yeah.
Because it's leading, okay. And what is it reading now?
180.
Yeah, and look how much more that is than
right.
Yeah. And what's your prediction
100.
That it'll stop at what compass for the 240? So it's going to be something past the 24, right?
Right, probably like 26.
Yeah, let's see if that happens, yeah. Good. Yeah, okay, let's turn left to a track of 210.
All right, left 210.
And that's okay to put the heading first, and then you cross-check what you need from there. That's a good technique. And one thing I'd like to advise people to, there's always a lag of about 5 seconds. So you want to let it settle down, and remember there's a little bit of a lag on the track.
Right.
So 210.
I'd have actually got it bang on.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Again, with this kind of turbulence, it's not unusual. You're going to have that.
Right.
Good. So isn't this kind of disorienting, huh, with all this rain and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you're doing a great job. Good. All right. Show me on the autopilot how you would climb me to 3,500 using the autopilot.
All right. So it's already set for 3.5?
Yeah, right.
So I would go
vertical
speed, which is here.
Yeah, and then
up.
Yeah, let's do 600. So we don't over-rev the engine, and then the power.
Okay.
Yeah, if you do 500, probably over-rev the engine. So let's try 600 feet per minute, please.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to over-rev the engine. There you go.
And full power?
Yeah, full power. And then you can also dial in the new altitude there, 3,500. Good, and let's make our track 205 on the track.
Right.
Trim in motion.
So, do you have the full power in?
Yep.
Okay, so what we need to do is decrease our climb rate because it's having a little trouble, probably because of the clouds.
Right.
And when you have that slow an airspeed, then you give it a little bit less of a climb.
Right.
And also probably we don't have it leaned out quite right. Have it leaned out a little bit more would help. Yeah, by leaning it, it gives it a little bit more power.
Roger.
There you go.
Alright, we should be leveling off.
Yeah. Well, one problem is we didn't have it armed.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it busted through. So let's
90600 Papa
and then we'll
thank you.
have it come down the other way.
Next.
There you go. So it'll come down at 100 feet. So let's pull the power back because we're kind of high. And give me about 90 knots.
6 net Papa, roger that. Clear 2 Olympia View, Red Vector, heading 240, climb maintain 3000.
That's going to descend.
Yeah, but only 100 feet. We probably don't need to cut it back that much. Because what's going to happen, we're going to get a sinusoidal pattern. So just put in the 2150 for 90 knots and let the autopilot handle it. Good, and then we're going to turn our track to the right.
Okay.
Let's try a track of 240.
Alright, 240.
Good. And then tell me what the compass is doing when we do that. We're turning to the, more towards the north.
Yeah, so it's turning, not turning.
Yeah, and
lagging.
probably because we're getting close to the west, yeah. So it's kind of even out a little earlier. Okay, and we'll just keep the power at 2150.
Okay.
Fine. Good. So